Hi everyone, this is Abel. Today we're going to be talking about the self-published science fiction competition. This is the second video I'm posting about this competition because the first one was too long. I showed you the first 6 books in that video. I'm going to put a card here around, and now I'm going to be showing you more. This competition is about self-published science fiction books. If you want to know more, I linked in the description box the official Twitter account, or should we call it X? I've not made my mind about it still. Maybe it will never happen, who knows. But you'll find in the pinned tweet on top of that profile 2 links. One for the official Amazon wish list, which lists all the 200 plus books selected for this stage of the competition, and then you have the Goodreads shelf. So if you regularly use Goodreads to keep tracks about your reading, it will be easy like that. You can use it and you can add all your books to the I want to read. So today I'm going to show you a couple of more books, and maybe I'll show you more during the next weeks. Yeah, that's the way it works. Okay, let's switch angle and talk about books. So the first book I'm showing you today, which is actually the 7th book I've picked for the original video, which was too long, it's called The First Run by Eli Freyson. It looks like it's about a smuggler, someone who's called Guylan, that may or may not have come into possession of a very precious cargo. On the description of this book, it looks like he is not ready to smuggle this cargo that will make him incredibly rich, and that he have to rely only on the help of an untested crew, on hard-earned wits, steady aim, and 2 clenched fists to survive. It looks like it will be very funny and very greedy, and I like smuggler story. Yeah, it should have been like that. I liked it. So this is the 7th book from the original list, the first one for today, First Run from Eli Freyson. Then we have Simulation, The Great Escape by Hashim Al-Ghali. I'm sorry if I'm butchering your surname, sir. I'm really sorry. And the main character for this story is called Thomas. He is an astrophysicist, and when the probe Voyager 17 comes back with shocking data, Thomas is the one who uncovers the hidden truth about what happened with the probe. And he is very shocked. He's going to research it, but it looks like someone is trying to censor his result. And this novel looks like mind-bending. It will challenge our perception of truth, because as a matter of fact, in the description it says it's suspenseful, action-packed, adventure-filled with mysteries and intrigue. And I liked when science fiction goes like that, when it tries to challenge our perception of what is truth, what it's not, what reality actually is, what can we trust, what we see, what we hear, what we touch. Is it actually reality? Are we living in a simulation? The title is pretty self-explanatory, but I'm pretty sure the book will be not. I like when there is a solid thriller base on my science fiction books, so I'm pretty pumped about it. Reality Check by Dave McCready. This is about a main protagonist called Ryan. He is a space pilot that uncovers a ugly truth, the fact that Earth is face a massive alien threat, and then he and a small batch of pilots will be joining a special force which will be piloting Mecha. And it looks like it remembers me a bit of Pacific Rim, but this one is set in space, so I don't need any other details. I don't want to know anything more. I'm all about it. I'm ready, because Pacific Rim, especially the first one, was a very, very good looking movie with a very good story. I'm a fan, and I'm hopeful to see how that kind of experience will translate in a novel set in space. So let's take a look. Let's take a look about it, and I will tell you my first impression in another video. or on Instagram. More details about that later. Blackout by Linda Norton. This is a post-apocalyptic story. We have Anna and Mark that have to join forces to travel through a deserted landscape. Earth is been collapsing because it's been struck by an EMP explosion that destroyed all technology, that now is completely unusable. The planet is falling apart, society is crumbling, and they have to face both natural challenge and threat from other survivors. I love post-apocalyptic story, and this one, it looks like it's going to be a pretty character-driven novel. I like when there is a deep exploration about the inner thoughts and the inner dialogues of the protagonists. And during the years, my tastes have changed. I was a particularly plot focus oriented reader. Now I prefer when authors are able to give us this deep exploration about human nature. So it looks like this book will be interesting about that. And the aesthetic of post-apocalyptic scenarios is always fascinating. So let's try and see. Blackout by Linda Norton. Blaze of Anger by Melanie Bogstad-Orev. This is a dystopia set in a far future where anger is illegal, hidden, and suppressed. There is a doctor, which is the main protagonist. He's a hunter for angry people, and he's struggling to cope with the loss of a boy who changes his life. And he has the help of an orphan girl, Dancer. He embarks on a journey of self-discovery. He uncovers secrets about his past, about the worlds he lives in, about the unexpected places where anger blazes. I like dystopia. I especially like when dystopia is used consciously to explore our nature, what we live in. And this one looks interesting because, let's face it, we have to deal with anger every day. And how does it work when a world like this, where anger is illegal? What do they do when they inevitably face someone who is angry? It's an interesting concept, and I'm pretty pumped. I really want to know how it will be developed, how this concept will translate in an actual novel. Let's take a look. And lastly, we have two honorable mentions. The first one is Wielders of Woe, Inferno by Jeffrey Rourke Jr. This is a space opera about a prince who's lost everything he has and that somehow has to struggle to regain his place in the imperial family. I actually started reading this. It gives me Sun Eater vibes by Christopher Rocchio. It is pretty interesting. It looks like the main protagonist is not that likable at the beginning of the book, but I suspect he will have an interesting arc. It will change during the book, and I'm pretty pumped about what he will become. I like the writing style. It looks pretty smooth. It has a gorgeous aesthetics. Some of it you can see it on the book cover, but I will tell you more about the book in one of the next videos. The last one is Dark Theory by Vic Velker. This one I mentioned too in the last video. This is about a robot and a girl in a post-apocalyptic world, and they have to join forces to explore the world because something is happening about the stars. The stars are disappearing and looks like the universe is going to end. And it seems like the robot has a pivotal role. In his decision will decide if everything goes on or the universe dies. I'm pretty curious about this. The cover of the books is amazing. Vic Velker has wrote another couple of books. They look really amazing. He is talking about the next one, which is coming shortly after, and I'm going to take a look at about that one too. Anyway, those are all the books I've picked for this first batch of the self-published science fiction competition. As I told you, anything can happen. I could end up selecting more and more about this. But let's switch angle and finish the video. As I told you before, if you want to know more about this competition, head out to Twitter on the official account of the self-published science fiction competition tree. You will find all the details about how they select the book, all the various stages, how they will transition from the slush pile to the semifinals and the finalists. We'll have links there in the description box too about the Amazon wishlist and the Goodreads shelf. So if you read other books from that slush pile from the competition, and if you find some new favorites, something that really interests you, something that really intrigues you, let's connect. Write your suggestion in the comments below, or we can connect on Instagram. I'm active on Instagram every day. If you see my stories, you will see what I'm reading, what I'm watching. We can exchange our opinion about my journey through science fiction, space opera, and all the other subgenre of science fiction. You can follow me on Twitter too. And if you want to see, if you missed the first part of this video when I showed you the first 6 books I've picked for this competition, you will find it here. Or you can take a look to the other one, my first video, about the Space Opera September readathon, which is going on in this month of September. You can do all of that YouTube. Just consider subscribe. And of course, if you like this one, if you want to see more, you can check out the other video, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.